Hey, how's it going, guys? Got another knife review for you. What you're looking at here is an oldie but goodie. This is the Spyderco Dragonfly. Thanks to Young's Backpacking in Berkeley for hosting this review. So yeah, a ton of people have talked about this knife, and with good reason. It's really lightweight and incredibly small. It weighs only about 1.2 ounces, which makes this the lightest knife that I've ever really handled. And as well, it's very small and compact. To give you an idea of scale, this is my old Nokia phone, and as you can see, a lot smaller. And it's quite thin in carry as well. The handle itself is composed of FRN, and the overall length of this knife is 5 7/16 of an inch. The blade length is 2 5/16 of an inch. The steel here for this particular version is VG10. I think in previous versions they had this in AUS 8, but the current versions, if you're going to buy it, are VG10. This has a serrated blade, just because the people who tend to shop here like serrated blades. I like a plain edge blade, but doesn't affect me one way or another. This gives you a chance to just kind of check out how this knife is made. The actual cutting edge itself, even though the blade is over 2 inches, the actual cutting edge is 1 7/8 of an inch, and the blade thickness is 2.5 millimeters. So this is a good everyday use knife. If you're going to be realistic about carrying a knife, for most tasks, a small blade's going to do just fine. I mean, mostly you're going to be using it to open letters, open boxes, cut cords, and things like that. You're not really going to need a huge blade for most of the tasks that you're going to need a knife for. The construction is a pin construction, so you can adjust the pivot. Would have liked a torque screw here just to be able to adjust the pivoting action of the knife itself, but Spyderco is pretty good about their quality control, so a pin construction for this particular knife is okay. It is a lockback design, and you got the Boyd dent right here on the lockback mechanism. Now, a lot of people think the Boyd dent is to make it so that it's easier to press down on the lockback mechanism. That's not actually the case. The reason this dent is here is so that when you're using the knife, you don't accidentally press down and disengage the lock and have the knife cut your fingers. Now, for this particular knife, for how small it is, I mean, look at how I hold it. When I'm holding it like this, there's no real way that I'm going to be able to push down on this button. So the Boyd dent is not really necessary for a knife this small. However, it does shave the tiniest bit of weight, and it doesn't really affect you one way or another, so it's kind of a nice option to have even though you don't need it. There's a nice little thumb ramp on the back here. Really good upsweep. I like this good upsweep for the thumb ramp. There's no jimping, but when the ramp goes up this much, I think that makes the jimping unnecessary, just because if you look at this angle here, hand locks in really well. Got a nice choil here on the front, and between these two, I'm pinching the knife quite tightly, so have a lot of control over the cutting edge of the knife itself. The handle has a nice upsweep, and you'll notice here it's contoured right here for the rest of my fingers to grab onto, so I can get a nice purchase. Now, I have small hands. If you have larger hands, you can probably have your pinky dangling, but otherwise this knife is very comfortable in hand. It feels like I have complete control about where the blade is going to go and how much pressure I can put on the blade, so that's a nice touch. The thumb hole is very well done. Can get a nice purchase and get a lot of my thumb inside of it, so I don't really have to struggle. Some other companies that try to copy the Spyderco hole make the hole too small, or they'll use a different shape. They'll use an oval, and I don't like that just because it hurts my thumb, because as you're dragging it, that uneven shape's going to rip on the skin of your thumb. With a nice hole, circular hole, you can rotate nice and evenly, so that's something that Spyderco is still the leader on. For the lockback design, I'll just go over this again. You guys probably heard me talking about it over and over again. A lockback design, what you have here is, let's see if I can get a good view right there. See that in there? That's the resistance bar, and the resistance bar is straight. And then you have this locking bar that rotates on this pin, also pinned in, like so. See that? It rocks on that pin, and the resistance bar gives me the resistance to push against this. You got the blade that rocks on this hole, and then there's a little kind of hook catch. And as I rotate this, this has a hook on the end, and then they lock in together, like so. Then when I push down on this, this hook releases, and then I can totally rotate the blade. Now, very easy to open one-handed. I mean, I can just grab it, stick my thumb in, and open it, no problems whatsoever. And for one-handed closing, a lot of people don't like lockbacks because they think it's too hard to close one-handed. But Spyderco, because they put this really generous choil underneath the blade, you can actually do what's called the flick. So basically what you do is you hold down on the knife like so, push down on it, and then what I do is I flick it forward, and what you'll see is the choil catches on my finger and not the blade. And then once it catches right there, I can just adjust my grip and then close it one-handed. And then when you get pretty good at it and you get practice, you can actually do this quite quickly. So I mean, when I'm done using the knife, I just shift my thumb down and then flick forward, and then the knife comes down. The choil catches on my finger, and then I just rotate my hand, and then I can close it one-handed. So very lightweight, very useful, well-made knife, made out of a really great steel, and you can close it one-handed. The only thing that will give a hit to this knife, well, a couple of things. I would have liked a torque screw so I can adjust the movement arm. Oh, there's a lanyard hole on the end as well. But the other hit I will give it is the fact that the pocket clip is molded in. So that's nice if you're cool with having a right hand tip up carry, but I would have rather had a screwed in pocket clip that I can put on either side. But other than that, great little everyday carry knife. You can go online. Young sells this for about 55 bucks. So if you're looking for a lightweight, durable knife, you might want to check out the Spyderco Dragonfly. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.